I'm Red, Watch Your Pirate Garage. Back at Cartoon, car's back on the dyno, ready to make some sauce.
Hey, how much did that make?
305.
305 on how many pounds?
6 pounds, like without even the VTEC working right.
6?
Well, yeah, I just now realized I got to set up the logger. It's only showing me up to 2 psi, so I got to
Okay.
I got to change a couple things. I wasn't even planning on making a pool. I was just like, okay, well, I just started revving it, and I'm like, oh, it still looks fine. Keep going.
Nice.
Well, yeah, I mean, you did a pretty good job last time. You know, the car runs pretty good, even with the different engine.
Yeah.
So I've been driving it around a little bit, just kind of putting the car through its paces.
Yeah, it doesn't look too far off.
Yeah, it's not too far off.
Nice.
I mean, the engines aren't a huge difference. It's really just the cams and the compression. So, I mean, it's basically the same kind of engine. So but man, 305, not even revving it all the way, not even really in VTEC. 6 pounds of boost? I don't know, dude. We might have to run this car at 6 pounds of boost because it's gonna make 400. I mean, well, maybe not 400, but we might have to limit it to 8 pounds. So
8 to 10, somewhere around there.
I think it'll make whatever you want it to make.
yeah, it'll make whatever we want, but you know, we got to keep this JDM motor living so that we can.
It'll make enough to grenade itself, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, well, this is a big boy turbo, so
Yeah, it's just like, what do you want? Where do you want to call it quits? That's all.
yeah, we're gonna call it quits pretty early. We need a conservative tune on this thing.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'll fix my built motor and we'll put it back in, and then we'll do a big boy tune.
What are your goals today? Like 450, 500?
No, I want it around 400. You also got to remember too, this is like a Mustang dyno. It's a Dyno Dynamics 4-wheel drive, so it's gonna read a lot lower compared to if we did a front-wheel drive with a Dynapack. Like, what do you think? 450 on a front-wheel drive Dynapack is gonna be 400 on this? You think it's gonna be that much of a difference?
It's about 10%. Yeah, it's more than you think.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a big difference. You know, dynos aren't really meant to give you a dyno number. They're meant for tuning. That's what a dyno is for. So people get hung up on dyno numbers. Okay, well, dyno doesn't make your car fast. How much power makes your car fast? You take it to the track, that's fast. But a dyno number doesn't mean anything.
All right.
Yeah, a lot of fast cars, they make a number on the dyno, and then it's like, well, we don't know, and they're inconsistent. You take them to the track, and you start playing with adjustments there.
Is it even usable?
A lot of those guys that are making like 2,000 horsepower, you know, they tune their car on the dyno maybe about 1,000, and then they just ramp it up at the track. They just try to get the main tune dialed in, and then they play with the boost and the ignition timing, and then that's it. Because I mean, you can't truly test everything on a dyno, especially when you're running big horsepower. So, but the dyno's for testing. I mean, we're gonna have a number today, but really we're just trying to get the car to run good. So,
Cool.
right there it starts to go down at 4.
Yeah, I'm gonna go at 63. So
Yeah. What's the VTC angle? I think we're gonna have to limit it to like maybe 40 at the most.
well, you bring it in on the low side, and then it starts backing out on the top end.
No, I just mean so we don't have any piston conflict.
Oh, what's the max on these? Like,
I would say don't go over 40.
45 is kind of the max, but you want to be kind of safe on this. So yeah, 40.
Yeah, this one is stock pistons with Type R cams.
okay, is Has anyone ever checked them? Like, I know on like some motors I take them and I'll set it to TDC, I'll lock it on the big cam and I'll turn it with a feeler gauge in there. You know, take the rocker ratio and the feeler gauge, and I'll set it to where I have like 40 thousandths piston to valve clearance. And then I know, like, okay, I can only go so far.
Yeah,
has anyone done that on?
I don't know off the top of my head for this motor. I would say probably like 40 would probably be the limit.
Yeah. Okay.
Just to be safe.
What do we make there?
About 317.
Nice.
And yeah, the power's a lot better in between there where the VTEC activates. 7. I put more timing in, and it was at like 8. Came down a little bit. Because it was at like 15 degrees of timing, which was not much. So when it doesn't have enough, it'll generally make a little more boost and be less efficient. More timing will make a little more power, and the boost usually comes down a little bit.
Your changeover's actually doing good right there, I think.
Yeah, so right in the mid 5,000s it was really lean, so I gotta work on that a little bit.
So what's your conclusion, man?
Well, there's no conclusion because we ain't done yet.
No?
No. But
no
so far so good.
20 pounds of boost in this thing, or being conservative still?
Yeah. It's all up to the boss man what he wants to do.
Alright.
So
cool.
But so far so good.
Good.
Just kinda cleaning it up.
Nice. What are we gonna rev up to? Because it's a TSX block.
Yeah, about 77's it where we're gonna go to. But I did make a pull to like 8, and it was still making power. So if it had springs and retainers, it would probably just keep on climbing. So we're gonna be kind of RPM limited as well.
Yeah.
So
it is a Type S head, so.
Yeah, but you know, it'll be done. He'll be able to go around, drive it, have some fun,
cause some havoc, you know.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So, but under the curve there, like the transition was
kind of dropping a little bit.
Yeah, it's like level and then it starts going again.
Yeah.
Maybe it needs to come down another 100. Let me see what it's doing with the cam phaser right there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see.
So we're dropping the VTEC, or?
You know what it's actually doing is the phasers. Phaser is dropping out, starting at $5,000. But yeah, you know, I need to play with the phaser a little bit. Looks like everything else looks pretty good.
I'm gonna leave it up to you. I don't know anything about Star Trek or anything like that, so.
See, cam angle, low speed, cam angle. So it's gonna be on the low side.
See some of those tables.
Yeah, this looks a little funky right in here. I'm gonna take all this. Just like 20.
He says it hits wastegate pressure at 4,000, so we're pretty good.
I think we need
a big
couple more pounds, man.
Yeah, yeah. Well, he's still working on it.
Of course.
So.
Give him 12 pounds.
No.
No moon tunes, alright?
Yeah.
Just nice and easy.
Nah, we're gonna try to hit 400. What do you think? The car's acting pretty good with this much boost. It wants more, probably.
Yeah, that little flat spot I'd like to address.
Yeah. Well, once we figure that out, you know, we'll be golden. All right. Well, here, Tim. Let's leave the guy alone. Let him do his job.
Off and on, and at $5,000 it was like almost a 40 horse difference.
Really?
It made 40 more horsepower with VTEC off at $5,000.
Really?
Yeah, but when I went to 55, it made about 40 more with it on.
Oh. So we're good. So it's always going to have a little kind of a dip right there, but it's going to be less.
He's got to split right in the middle there, and that like if we were to like really hone in on it, we could. But
I think we're good enough.
Being within 50 RPM, I think it's going to be right at 5350. So right in there, give or take 50 RPM is right where the transition is going to be.
Okay. So you're pretty much. I think your phone's ringing, dude.
Yeah, shit. That's one of my customers.
I think what we're pretty much done with the tune. Now we just got to. I mean, done dialing in now. Put a little bit more boost.
Yeah. As we go up in boost, we'll adjust those tables. I wanted to make one more.
With the VTEC dialed in?
Yeah, with the VTEC dialed in to get an idea of where.
Yeah, I think the turbo is leaking a little bit of oil on the bottom, so you know it's super crazy difficult to get to. So you know what? I don't think it's leaking that much. So I'm just gonna fix it later, but I don't think it's enough to stop us from finishing the tune.
I saw it was a super tiny little
super
drill.
tiny, yeah. Plus it's really hard to get to underneath the turbo, so and it's super crazy hot right now, so we'd have to let it sit for at least 2 hours. Yeah, let's just finish up the tune and then
I'll do one more pull, and then we can start ramping the boost up a little bit.
I like the sound of that.
Yeah.
That's what I want to hear. What do we make on that last pull?
310.
Cool. So now it's time to start adding boost?
Yep.
How much do you think we're gonna go up to? Like 10 or 8 or right now?
Probably like 10.
Okay. Nice round number.
Yeah.
Set that boost cut. We don't want this thing getting out of control.
With your manifold, it's probably going to want to go all the way up to super nice and spooly.
Yeah. But you said it was hitting 6 pounds at 4,000, right? Right before it hits VTEC.
Yeah.
So it spools pretty nice.
Yeah. It's already up to gate at like 4,000.
Nice. Yeah, we're not trying to get like a moon tune out of this thing. We're just trying to get like a really safe tune. You know, like Shaggy was saying, you know, this turbo is so big, it's not efficient at the power levels we're getting at it right now. But, you know, I built this setup to be much higher horsepower for a fully built engine, but unfortunately that engine took a crap. So we're gonna run this one for a while, do some testing with some different components. I'm trying to mess with the all-wheel drive system, you know, actually get you guys some real info. Because we're on the all-wheel drive dyno, so you know, we can actually get some real dyno results and showing what the system can do. So we just need to keep this car as conservative. I would love to be able to drive this car anytime I want. And you know, I'm just sick of working on this car and not being able to enjoy it. Even at 300 some horsepower, that's fine. Like, I can still have fun with it. And then I'm gonna fix my built motor, we're gonna put it back in, then make the moon tune. So, baby steps.
There we go, 199.
so I made 361 on that pull. We're only revving it to 7,700. Like I said, keep the motor happy, just like what he said. So, you know, we're doing pretty good. How much boost did it hit on that one, dude? Oh, same, right at 11, huh? That was
yeah, it's like, yeah, it kind of is reading between 10.5 and 11.1, so.
Between 10.5 and 11.1, so I think that's a good point right there. You know, the car seems pretty happy, right? Mm-hmm. Okay.
What is this turbo efficient at all the way up to? Like, what's the
probably 15 pounds is going to be a lot more efficient, right? Between 15 and 17 psi.
Oh, this size of a turbo, they don't start getting efficient until probably like 18 to 21.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a big turbo, so they like to move air.
What horsepower would this turbo max out at usually?
Well, it's rated to 950, so I think you could probably easily make high 800s with this setup. So, but yeah, we're not pushing this block.
That's later.
Yeah, that's later. So, what do you think about the air fuel? You think we're right on, or?
Yeah, there's a spot. I'm gonna richen it up right from 66 to 71. But other than that, it's good.
Nice.
All right, we're gonna do a couple pulls real quick. Here.